Hey, what's up, you guys? Pete Tidwell here with the Mighty Baker Podcast. It has been a very long time since I've been on here. It's been since July 12th since I've dropped a podcast episode. Life has been a little bit crazy. So my last episode, I spoke all about my experience on Is It Cake on Netflix. I'm on season 2. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch the show because it is a ton of fun. You got to go watch it. So that came out in June, and so life has been a little bit crazy, and then we decided to get up and sell our house and move and make some kind of life strategic decisions, and now I'm in a new place. So we've got a new background on a white wall rather than the blue wall from before, so we're a little bit brighter now. Very excited. So anyway, this is going to be my home for the next little while. We are renting for the next year or two to rebuild some things in our life. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today on my podcast, but I just wanted to welcome anybody here on my podcast that hasn't listened before, because if you haven't listened before, I'd go back and listen to all the 62 episodes before, because then you can get to know who I am, a little bit about me, where I came from, and I guess a quick little intro there. I have over 25 years of restaurant and bakery experience, working for my brother at his delis and then owning my own bakery shops, and have a couple storefronts that I had open, and have had a great, fun, challenging, up and down journey like any entrepreneur does. And my goal here on this podcast is to share things to help you out there as a business owner or just an individual listening to be more mindful and to also be able to think about things in your business and in your life that maybe you haven't thought about before. And to be honest, episode 63, this one is called Anything Can Happen If You Let It. So this is all about recollecting and re-strategizing. So with that said, let's jump right into the Mighty Baker Podcast. This is episode 63. Anything can happen if you let it. It's time to recollect and re-strategize. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, you guys, welcome to the Mighty Baker Podcast. This is episode 63. Anything can happen if you let it. Recollect and re-strategize. I am so excited for this episode. Number one, because it's been a long time since I recorded a podcast episode. So this is episode 63. The first 62 episodes I did every single week for 62 weeks. And then once the Is It Cake show dropped, everything kind of went a little bit crazy in my life, and everything went crazy. We decided to make some big moves like in our life and like my family's life, and it's just been insane. So welcome back to me, welcome back to you, and welcome back for all of us. This is going to be an update episode just to let you guys know what's going on for me, and also sharing a little bit of a message of just that really anything can happen in your life, but you have to let it. Oftentimes we push things away with negativity all the time, but if we let things happen and allow them to happen and believe that good things can happen to us, they can. Anyway, we're going to jump into this. So I wanted to say a quick thank you, actually, to all the people who have listened to my podcast. So, I started this podcast, a year or so ago, and at first, episodes 1 through 23 are all focused on my life coaching training and my journey through all of my life coach training through the life coach school and what I learned there and how I've applied it to my life and how you can apply it. Great episodes. And I started that, and then I changed in doing more bakery business coaching, which is the episodes 24 through 63 that share all of my past, all of my experiences in my bakery journey, and then interviews, bakery business focused, and there's some great episodes in there. And we have had 2,500 downloads, which comes down to 40 downloads per week. So that's amazing. 40 people, 40 downloads per week. That's incredible. I would be happy if there was like even just a handful of people listening to that. So that's pretty cool. When I think about numbers, when it comes to social media, when it comes to listeners like this, sometimes people get down on themselves because of the numbers. But I was just thinking about that, and I'm like, dude, if I had 40 people right here in this room listening to me talking, that would be the most incredible thing in the world. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, this is so cool. Anyway, I'm really excited about it. So anybody that wants to listen to my ramblings and listen to the things that I have to say, I love it. And it's not because I think I have all the answers, you guys. I don't have any answers. I just know that we need help on this journey because I tried doing the whole entrepreneur bakery journey and I succeeded. I made a lot of money. But I also have kind of ruined my life a little bit from like a physical health standpoint and also from like a mental health standpoint. I'll get into that in a minute, that I've worked myself too hard. And I want to help people. I want to help people to be able to succeed in their life, whatever that means. If they want to open a bakery business, if they want to run a home bakery, if they want to open a completely different kind of business, if you want to go find a job, like whatever you want to do that's going to make you happy and help you feel accomplished and feel like accepted and to accept yourself and worthy of just the love and the care that every single human deserves. And I have that deep desire that I really want to help people. And that's such a huge thing for me. So anyway, the thing that inspired today's episode was a shirt that my daughter was wearing the other day. And it said, "Anything can happen if you let it." And it's from Mary Poppins, the play, the Broadway play, from a song. And it inspired me. I was thinking about that. And this was like on my birthday, actually, August 23rd. This podcast episode I was planning on recording on the day after my birthday, and we were moving and everything was crazy, and my computer shut down 6 or 7 times. I was so frustrated and so annoyed. And I haven't recorded it since because I was so annoyed at the whole thing. I even recorded 20 minutes of the podcast and then it all was just completely lost. And then I did it again and again and again. Anyway, it was horrible. So today my computer's actually working and this is a good thing. Anyway, but that quote on her shirt was something that really kind of stood out to me because I was like, we have to allow things to happen. Anything can happen, anything is possible, but we need to believe in them and believe in ourselves and that it's even possible and that we're worthy of it. And I think that's a huge thing that the world really, with comparison and all that kind of crap that's out there, right, is that we don't think things can happen to us because of certain beliefs or certain things or patterns that have happened. But if we can disrupt those patterns and we can believe that cool things can happen and that good things can happen to us, even though a lot of it is kind of crap. In one of my episodes, I talk about this 50-50 principle that Brooke Castillo teaches in the Life Coach School. And there's this idea that she teaches, and I love it, is that this concept that 50% of life is positive and 50% is negative, but then we get to choose how we think about each of those 50%, right? We could focus on the negative and be just negative all the time, or we could focus on the positive and choose to think about the negative maybe in a little bit of a different way so that we could then move on still. Anyway, I really liked that quote on her shirt, and I just wanted to kind of reflect on that today. And, on my birthday, I was kind of thinking in context of that, of okay, I am starting an upcoming year, and, when you have a birthday, it's a good time to get a refocus and restart. And I have a lot of goals and a lot of things I want to accomplish this next year I'm 41 and I want to accomplish a lot of things. I have a lot of goals and objectives and ideas and projects and all sorts of things that I want to accomplish. And sometimes I overload myself and then I think, oh, I'm never going to be able to do all this. But I want to go into this next year with the thought anything can happen if you let it. Because it's all up to me and the belief if that can happen. If I can allow it to happen, then it can happen. But if I put up roadblocks because I have some negative thoughts and I can't get past some of these negative things, that I'm kind of pushing away the good things that are wanting to come into my life, and being able to accept it and be ready to receive all that good into your life. It's just, that's where I'm trying to get to, and that's where I'm going to be trying to operate from. And I love birthdays because we were able to have a good restart. And right now I'm really doing that in my life. I'm doing a lot of refocusing and restarting. And on my birthday, I just need to note I had an amazing birthday. On August 23rd is my birthday. And I spent time with friends and family, and I ate tasty food. I got to eat at Gandolfo's, my brother's sandwich shop in Utah County, where I worked for 15 years. I went and ate a delicious breakfast sandwich. I went to Solagave with my wife for lunch, which is a delicious restaurant. And then we finished it out with a deluxe Arctic Circle dinner with my family. It's just kind of a funny thing. Arctic Circle, if you're from Utah, you know what it is, but like, it's just a small little like drive-in kind of style place, fast food, burgers, fries. My kids love the cheese curds there. Anyway, it's a family pleaser. So my wife and I went out to a really nice restaurant for lunch, and then we went out to Arctic Circle where our kids will actually eat the food, and it doesn't cost as much money. Anyway, good strategy there, because it can be expensive taking kids out to eat and things like that, especially because sometimes they don't eat their food. But anyway, so this was, I wanted to record this on my birthday, and now we're like a couple weeks after now, and I just want to put this out there that even though I've been busy doing moving and everything, and I've made that as an excuse, I still haven't recorded my podcast. And now I'm finally sitting here in my chair. Granted, I didn't have an office, and I made that as an excuse too. But really, I just haven't filled up to it lately because I've had some challenges lately that have been really hard for me. So like today, there are a lot of things going on. We just moved. And the reason I've been absent on these episodes is I have been kind of dealing with moving and dealing with some things. So I've mentioned this on past episodes before, but I deal with some pretty intense physical pain. I have back problems. I've got arthritis all up and down my back. I have neck problems for being in the kitchen for 25 years. I've got carpal tunnel in both of my wrists. Like, I've got all sorts of physical issues, which doesn't allow me to be in the kitchen as much as I would like to. With that said, though, I am going to be doing some recipe videos on YouTube, so stay tuned for that, my friends, because I'm really stoked about that. So when they come, they'll come, and they'll be exciting. But I've also ran into some mental health issues as well. I finally got myself to a therapist. I've talked about this before in past episodes in my Hardest Part series, is I started going to therapy for the first time as a 40-year-old man, going to try to tackle some things. And I'm going to be open and vulnerable on here because I believe that that's the way that we can really help each other and help other people. But I've been seeing a therapist because honestly, I've been dealing with a lot of issues for so many years. And a lot of it comes down to OCD that causes some pretty intense anxiety that's very debilitating for me. Sometimes bouts of depression, which doesn't make sense to people because they see Pete and they see me on TV and they see me all these places and they think, oh, Pete's just this happy guy all the time. But I usually am very, very happy. But inside the mind, it's not the happiest place sometimes. And so I'm trying to take care of that myself, and not myself, but take care of that through therapy and through coaches and through exercise and through taking care of myself, and daily practices and daily habits. My coach, my business coach, Dave Moreno up in Canada, is a badass, and I love him. He is the most amazing coach and has influenced and impacted my life so heavily. I'm part of a program in his coaching program right now with a group of people, and it's called the Ultimate You program, and it is just killer, and it's so good, and it's helping me get me to where I need to go to. And you need people around you to help you. If you struggle with things like this, if you struggle with negative self-talk, if you struggle with beating yourself up, if you struggle being self-critical and all intrusive thoughts, like whatever it is that you deal with, whether it is something that is diagnosed or needs medications or whatever, like get some assistance if you need, and go back to listen to my episode. And I am not a therapist. I am a life coach, and I am a human, and I am a business owner. I am a father. I'm a man. I am a son. I am a nephew. I am an uncle. And like I am all the things, just like everybody else out there. We all have our different little things that we do on our daily lives. And sometimes we've got some things that get in the way. And oftentimes it's because we're not taking care of ourselves enough. And for me, it's worrying too much about what other people are doing, or how other people are doing, and thinking that I need to be a certain way around certain people or whatever that may be. And I just go into this, and this might get into a bit of a detailed kind of episode, but I want to get on here and be real with people and kind of figure out what the next steps are in my business journey. This is kind of a big, monumental episode for me that I am very excited to go back and listen to in the future, because right now I'm at a very pivotal place in my career and in my journey right now. And, if you did miss that 6-part series, The Hardest Part Is Over. It is an amazing series. It's 6-part series. Go back and listen to them. I just re-listened to them, and they remind me of so many great insights that have helped me. And I want you guys all to know that, like, you can all do this. Whatever you're doing in your life right now. I know, like, I don't have any answers for any people out there. I don't. But I want to put it out there that I think that everybody is doing much better than they think they're doing, and we're being way too self-critical of ourselves, and way too self-critical or way too critical and judgmental of other people. And if we just were to drop a couple of those things, the world would be such a better place. Peace, love, and positivity. That is one of my favorite little sayings from an artist that I love listening to. There's this hip hop rap artist named Logic that I love so much. I went and saw him in concert earlier this year with a friend of mine. But he always talks about that, how he's about love, peace, and positivity, and just how much of an impact that can be. And just to understand that, the other people that you come across on a daily basis that we get frustrated with or annoyed with, maybe just stop and think, like, they might be having a really horrible day. They might really struggle with anxiety. They may really struggle with something else. They may be going through something. Like, we can be kind and nice to other people and just be good humans. And that's just, anyway, I just put that out there because I think that we could cause ourselves and others a whole lot less harm if we spent less time sitting and judging other people. Anyway, but on my journey of trying to figure out this anxiety thing, I've never really had or recognized that, but what's happened is I've overworked myself for so many years, and I've kind of like put myself into a bit of a pressure cooker, is what my coach calls it sometimes. And that I've stacked so many things on top of me that, of course, I have anxiety. Of course, I have these things because I have set myself up over time to be in this pressure cooker that eventually it's like, it's gotta blow, And it's been a very interesting journey, and I've been on and off, I think 4 or 5 different medications to try to address this, anxiety, OCD, the things that I'm dealing with. And I am very open to talk about this because, you know what? I think this journey is important to learn from other people, because this has been horrible to go through of just like trying to figure out like if medication's even a good pathway for me, right? So I'm going to be starting to take another medication soon, and we'll see how that goes. I have no idea. But I stopped taking the 4th medication just, last month, and it didn't do me well at all. It was not a good thing for me. And anyway, so I'm on that journey trying to figure that out, and I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of things on a daily basis as well. Just trying to get in a better rhythm on a daily basis, because I think that might need to happen, or it needs to happen simultaneously as I'm trying to get on this other medication. Because if I'm not exercising regularly, if I'm not, doing things, then like I'm not being active, and I'm not even taking care of myself enough to have those natural mental health benefits, right? So anyway, so I'm starting to get up earlier. I'm trying to. It's been a little bit hard for me, but I'm trying to get up earlier in the morning. I've been to the rec center a little bit, did a little bit of swimming. I don't love swimming, but it's good because it's softer on my joints. Now that I live right by the mountains, I can now go on a hike, like right out my door. Essentially, I can just hike up the mountain. I went up this morning, and it was beautiful. It was so, so nice. And so like kids are back in school, we're in a new place, and just kind of trying to get, back into the rhythm of life and get things going. So, part of this episode was just rebuilding and re-strategizing, and that anything can happen if you let it. We kind of decided to do something kind of a little bit hard and scary. Like, we decided to sell our house, and we're going to be renting for the next couple years so that we can rebuild and re-strategize our lives a bit. It was a very tough decision, but unfortunately, it's kind of what I signed up for when I became a small bakery business owner. Like, when you risk, you never know what's going to happen, good or bad, like when you go into something like this. So, I mean, that is part of like the fun and the drive and the desire of being a small business owner. It's a challenge, and it's like, it's a challenge to try to make it happen, right? But there is a lot of risk involved as well. And in that risk over the years, like, I have spent a lot of money, I've lost a lot of money, I've spent a lot of money, I've made a lot of money. In my bakery, we've made over $1 million in revenue over the 11 years that I've been open. And most of that was in the years of 2015 to 2018. And then also from 2020 to 2022 at my 2 different storefronts that I had. And one year being $327,000 in 2017 at that store, which I'm so, so proud of. And I just, I look back, and the journey is so worth it, because I have the best education from a business, marketing, entrepreneur, business owner standpoint. I know the bakery business inside and out, and I know how it works. I know how it doesn't work. I recognize branding. I recognize marketing. I have a lot of great experience there. And I am glad for my journey, but it's been tough. Like, I was in debt. I had a lot of debt. And what happens when you have a lot of debt in a business, it kind of starts eating you up when you don't have enough money coming in, because one of your worst enemies as a business owner is cash flow, unless it's positive. But if you have negative cash flow and you're dipping down all the time, it's going to be rough. So you got to have a good cash flow management system in your business so that you can keep up on your expenses and you can always keep that cash flow coming in so that you don't have to go into the negative as much and you don't have to borrow money as much and those kind of things. Because what I came across is that I started with some money that I had saved. I borrowed money from my parents. I took out a loan. I did all these things to get my place open, but I took too big of a risk in the beginning. So there's ways that you can do that and strategically do that differently. And I know based on my experience what I did wrong in all the things. And I also know what I did right too. And it was a lot of things that I did right as well. So anyway, but lately, I just haven't really been feeling up to recording my podcast or doing anything in my business or anything because I've been at this interesting point where I don't really know, like, what is next for Pete Tidwell. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's kind of an interesting place because we sold our house and I paid off all of my business debt. All my business debt completely gone. And now I can operate from a clean space that I'm very excited from because I've been stressed about money and finances for months, for years, so long, ever since COVID hit in 2020. I opened my last storefront up, my do-it-yourself cake studio of January of 2020. We had 2.5 months of amazing business, and then COVID hit in March. And then everything has just been horrible basically since from a business perspective. So, and that's been for everybody, for all over the nation, all over the world. It's been absolutely horrible. So many businesses closed and it's just been a hard time. So now I find myself in this place where I'm like, okay, everything is taken care of. And now I just have a wide open road in front of me from a business perspective. And you guys, I am so excited. I have so many ideas that I'm working on right now that I can't even tell you right now because, that wouldn't be very much fun, would it? And so I'm working on so many fun ideas, but I'm also trying to figure out what is the next thing that I'm doing. And, I've taken a couple different journeys on my coaching. And you're going to notice a few things are going to probably change just a little bit. So moving forward, I'm going to keep everything under the Mighty Baker, and that's going to be everything bakery related. There's still going to be bakery business resources. There's still bakery coaching, specific bakery coaching. I'm going to be doing recipe videos on YouTube. I'm going to be continuing to interview bakers, cake artists, sugar artists, bakery owners, so you can get an insight into their life and what it's like in the baking industry in all its facets and ups and downs. And we're going to be covering bakery business topics and basically everything baking related because I love the industry and I love the art. And there are a slew of things I want to do with the Mighty Baker when it comes to product ideas, when it comes to equipment, all sorts of things for the bakery industry that I'll be working on for future years. It may take me a while to develop some of these things, but I'm very excited for some of the things that I have cooking up in the brain of Pete Tidwell, the Mighty Baker. So that's going to be really fun. But then when it gets to coaching, I'm still going to be doing the bakery business coaching, always going to be offering, and I'm going to hopefully get some good traction there and find some clients out there. I know not all bakery owners and not all people can afford coaching, but coaching is what's going to get you to that next level. If you are a baker at home or you have a small little bakery and you've been struggling and you don't know what to do in your business next and you don't know how to get to yourself to the next level and you don't necessarily want to ask for help and you think you can do yourself, just ask for help. You don't even ask for help from me. Of course, I would love to be a coach for anybody out there that wants me to be their coach because I will help you. I will help you and I will help you get you to the place that you need to in your business, in your life. But I know that I'm not for everybody. There's coaches out there, there's people out there that can help you get where you need to go. But I just wanted to let you guys know. So, from the Mighty Baker standpoint, it's going to be bakery related, everything there. Okay. You've also probably noticed I bring in a lot of positive mindset, those kind of things. Those are still going to be part of the Mighty Baker because cake is life is my overall mantra, and that stands for some things. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we're going to be very much centering our content around bakery, but also around having courage to believe in yourself and taking action on a daily basis to become better and become the mightiest version of yourself, being kind to yourself and others on a daily basis, and doing things on a daily basis that give you energy and contribute to your energy every day. And so they're also going to be that whole focus in the Mighty Baker area as well. But then when it comes to just general coaching, so I used to have a page that was Pete Tidwell Coaching. I closed it down, and then I reopened it, and then I closed it down, and then I reopened it again. So this is going to be, it's kind of in its infancy. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing with it right now, but basically it's on Instagram as well, and it is Rise Up Mighty. Rise Up Mighty. And that is Pete Tidwell Coaching. So this whole page is just in general, what is in the way of becoming the best version of yourself? What are the roadblocks in your way, and what thoughts and limiting beliefs are holding you back? Basically, thought-based problems, emotional and thought awareness. I'm going to be talking a lot about daily habits. I'm going to be talking a lot about the things that I do and the things that I've learned and the things that I can pass on that can help anybody in their life with some daily things that they can do to help them with their self-confidence and help them to be able to cultivate the thoughts that they need to be able to become the mightiest version of themselves. This connotation of rise up mighty, it's very much based on the phoenix. You'll see the logo on that page, and it's a symbol with the phoenix. And I love that, of rising up as the phoenix, burns and rebirths, right? He rises up mighty. And I want that as a connotation in there of that this is what I do on a daily basis, and I want to offer this up to people out there, is if you rise up mighty every morning, you can have a mighty day. And how do you rise up mighty? Well, you have to determine, what does that look like for you? I don't know. What I do might be completely different from what you do, but it's important to figure out what that is. So I'm going to be talking a lot about on there. And I may even start a separate podcast that will be on that subject and keep the Mighty Baker podcast very, very focused on bakery and small food business kind of related stuff. Because I really wanted to have it all together, but I really feel strongly that I need to separate it apart, because it's a huge thing for me and I'm very, very passionate about it. I mean, it gets into a lot of things that I really want to address and I want to help people with too. So from that standpoint as well, you'll find out eventually on that Rise Up Mighty page, I don't offer it yet, but I will soon, is that I'm going to offer coaching through that as well. So if any person out there that wants some coaching and want some help to help them to level up and get to where they want to go, and they need a coach and they need somebody to be accountable to, and they need somebody that can cheer them up and can give them a positive punch in the face every day. Maybe not punch in the face, but hey, I'm here and I'm a positive guy and I love to spread my energy out there. And I want to spread my energy out there. So please come and let me know. I'd love to coach you. And if you're interested in just that, go through my bakery, my Mighty Baker page, and you can schedule a call on there. It's free, and 1 free hour call the first time for anybody. Seriously, it's offered out there, and we do an hour coaching call, and I talk to you about whatever, we talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'll take maybe 5 minutes to just tell you about my coaching and how my coaching works. Other than that, the whole call, every bit of it is focused on you and what your needs are. So whether you want me to coach you on your bakery business, whether you want me to coach you on your day-to-day life, your career, changing jobs, how to be happy in your job, how to change up jobs, how to deal with relationships in a corporate job, like with a boss or a tough employee. I have so much experience to draw upon, so please take me up on that. So like I said, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet when it comes to the podcast. I may do a separate one for the Rise Up Mighty coaching program that I'm going to be doing. But for now, it'll just be here, but you'll probably maybe see some split here in the future. So this episode right here is the final episode in season 3. And then once season 4 starts, which is like next week, I'm going to be deciding what that looks like. And what that looks like for the Mighty Baker podcast is interviews. I am going to be interviewing some bakers. I have people on the schedule right now. And if you know anybody that wants to be on my podcast that has an interesting bakery story, and no matter what success they've had, even if they're barely starting and they just want to talk about like bakery business with me, like let's chat, let's do it. Let's record a podcast. I'm a cool guy. I'm fun to talk to, and we just have a fun time. So it's a blast. Listen to my past episodes that I've interviewed people, and they're just fun. I just want to get to know people, get to know bakers, and be able to understand some of their challenges so that we can help each other out in the bakery community, because I feel it's a little tough in places, especially over the last couple years. So anyway, okay. So from there, this is going to be interesting. So final episode of season 3, season 4 is going to be coming. And I just wanted to make sure you guys knew, everybody out in the world that listens, the 40 people that were listening, if you listen to this, thank you, that as I rebuild and restructure my business and decide the best goals and objectives and what I want to build so I can impact and help all the various audiences and start and continue their journey on finding their mightiest version of themselves. That's my ultimate goal, is I want to help you, all people out there that listen. Like I said, I don't have the answers, but I do believe that I can help people, because I have helped people. I have a client right now that I love so much. He is amazing. He is such a good client, and he's such a great dude. And him and his wife are running their business, doing great and working hard. And I love helping them. I love just being somebody they can be accountable to. And the power of coaching is huge, you guys. It really, really is. And that is my ultimate goal, people. I just want to inspire people, and I want to inspire others to decide if they feel to dive in and try to be better, a little better every single day. And I believe by following my mantra, cake is life, can help each of us focus on what is most important every day. And remember, CAKE, it's an acronym. And the C stands for courage to believe in yourself. Action, taking action towards the mightiest version of yourself. Kindness, having kindness towards yourself and others on a daily basis. And E for energy. And energy is all about doing things on a daily basis as you rise each morning that will fill you with energy, positive, good energy, so you can face your day. And we will close with some favorite quotes from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. Until next time, see you guys.